I'm not supposed to open this door during the day.
Dude, Juan, it's at night it's at night. You can open it.
You sure?
Yo, open the door. We gotta review this film. It comes at night.
Alright.
It comes during the day. That is cinema Boof, Juan. It comes at night. Did you see the movie?
Yeah. What the hell are you wearing?
My cinema Boof outfit, Juan.
Hey, boys and girls, women and germs. We're Cinema Boof. I'm Juan Agudelo and this is Chris Rowe. This week we're going to be reviewing the film It Comes at Night and not during the day. Chris Rowe, take it away.
Thanks, Juan.
Writer-director Trey Edward Schultz first burst on the filmic scene with his 2015 debut feature, Krisha, a movie about a troubled woman's attempt to reconnect with her son during a particularly turbulent Thanksgiving. Now, the 28-year-old filmmaker returns with a sophomore feature, a movie marketed as a horror film, but seemingly interested in a lot of the same things as the family drama in Krisha. Schultz has been a critical darling, but It Comes at Night is his first movie to be put in front of a wide audience. Like last year's The Witch, a movie also marketed like a genre horror film, I suspect It Comes at Night will frustrate and challenge wide audiences. But while The Witch alienated some, it seems to have found a niche audience. Will It Comes at Night burst through the noise and find its audience? What's there to be passionate about with this film, and is it good as a horror film and or a family drama? What did you think of this movie?
First off, I want to say that this movie, for me, was straight up cinema Boof. It was no bueno. I'm sorry. I know you're disappointed with me, but for me, to answer your question, it might find its niche audience. That's what this movie is gonna need, a niche audience, because for the layman's person like myself, the common viewer, they're not gonna like it.
I gotta say, this is a good movie. This is one of the year's best, Juan. I'm gonna say it's cinema Boof. Meaning, that's a term of endearment for me. Right now, this is my favorite movie of the year.
Oh
my favorite narrative, especially.
So, Chris, what did come out at night?
That's a good question, and I think the answer to that question for me, when you hear this answer, will tell you if this movie is for you. Because for me, the answer could sound a little pretentious. And if it sounds pretentious, this movie is not for you. If it sounds interesting and moving, then maybe this movie is for you. But I think this movie does work in the vein of something like The Witch, where the horror is something about human nature and something about about people's inability to trust each other. And so what comes at night, the family doesn't know what danger is out there without spoiling anything. Let's just say that the threat of the film is mysterious for most of the running time, and that creates certain tensions that maybe didn't have to exist but do exist, and that threatens to tear these people apart, these people who could otherwise love each other. It threatens to tear them apart. Juan, what comes at night, man? Does that sound interesting?
Whoa, man, you are making me snooze over here. But that's all right. To answer that question, I think for me, what comes out at night in this movie, plain and simply, is fear and paranoia. The two pillars of the white man's civilization. This is what made this country. JK. But seriously, fear and paranoia, that's what we have in this movie, and that's what this movie's all about.
Got it.
What did you think about the movie's genre? Did you think it was a horror movie like it was marketed, or do you think it was something else?
That is maybe the biggest flaw for this film for me. And it's a minor flaw. I love this movie, but it's hard to consider it a true horror film. I see it much more as a family drama with a post-apocalyptic backdrop, let's say. But I think not only was it marketed as a horror film, but I think there are some elements early on that make you anticipate some horror tropes that don't exactly get paid off. That was part of the excitement of the movie for me, that it's this interesting combination of elements, but ultimately I think it could be something that holds it back. I think I know where you stand on it being a horror film, Juan, but did it fit into any genre by the end, or was it too messy?
Let me tell you something. When you market a movie to be this horror, I expect some scare factor. This movie had none of it. It wasn't scary. Though it was more of a thriller.
The existential threat of death was scary.
I guess so. I mean, even that, I was just like, okay. But when you market something as a horror and you don't give me, the audience, some scare factor, I'm gonna feel cheated. And I was cheated out of $15 because my expectations were to be scared. I didn't get scared, so my immediate feeling of the movie is that it's trash. It's pretty much cinema boof.
We've talked about a lot of different aspects, parts of the movie, but this is cinema boof, Juan. We work on a 5-star system. Let's break it down. What does It Comes at Night get?
It comes at the day. Well, I'm sorry. It comes at night. For me,
It's disrespectful.
For me, it comes at night because it was marketed as a horror movie and it wasn't scary at all. For those people that expect that, expect not to get that. So because of that alone, I'm deducting some points from it. I thought the story was all right. I thought the cast was great. They did a great job. Ultimately, I paid to see something and I didn't get it. What I got was a snooze fest. So I'm gonna give it 2.5 stars from the kid. It's cinema boof. If you're a common viewer, or if you're the layman's type, don't see this movie. It's gonna be a waste of your money. But if you're a cinephile like this nerd here is, go and waste your money on it. You might like it. But for me, for the common folk, don't even bother. 2.5 stars. Let's go. Boof.
Juan, I gotta disagree. I gotta give it a 4.5 stars. I gotta say, even if you are a layman, you just gotta put your preconceived notions of what this movie is gonna be out of your mind. You might like this movie. You don't think of it as a horror movie. Watch it. Keep an open mind. It starts with an interesting premise. It does have great performances. The drama just builds and builds. It's gonna give you something to think about. It might frustrate you, but it might also reward you. And I say, that's a risk worth taking. 4.5 stars, one of the best movies of the year. Cinema boof. In a good way.
Well, that about does it for this week's review of It Comes at Night. Why don't you like, subscribe, comment below. If you didn't like our review, well, go F yourself. If you did, let us know what you thought of the movie. Give us your star rating. Why don't you comment below and let us know what we should review next week. Maybe we'll pick your film choice and give you a shout out. I don't know. Until then, I'm Juan Agudelo. This is
Chris Rowe.
And we are
Cinema Boof.
Holla.
Ah.